All right, let's switch gears now. Time to think some warm thoughts. Picture a warm, sunny day in July, a Sunday afternoon with thousands of baseball fans in Cooperstown. Sounds like a perfect day to me. Before we get there, though, tonight is the big night. We find out which former major leaguers will be enshrined on that sunny day in July. Joining me now live on the phone from New York City, the president of the Baseball Hall of Fame, my good friend Jeff Idelson. Jeff, good afternoon.
Hey, good to talk to you, Jason.
Same to you, my friend. Now, this never gets old, does it, Jeff?
No, it certainly doesn't. Every year you've got a new class that's being considered, and every year there's a ton of excitement, especially today when we find out who's going to be joining us in July in Cooperstown.
We'll throw some numbers out at you. 35 candidates this year, 20 first-timers. Of course, the big one from Yankee country, Mariano Rivera. He's got to be a shoo-in. Your thoughts on the list of guys that are going in? These are the meat and potatoes of guys that, I covered, guys that you got the chance to deal with a lot closer one-on-one, right?
Really, it's true, Jason, from my years in baseball, and there's a lot of depth to this ballot. We'll see at 6 o'clock on the MLB Network who actually gets the nod. But, you look down that list of candidates who are up for election, and you can go down a number of names and make cases for all of them.
Talk about the significance, if you will, of having not only an amazing class for the Hall to celebrate, but what it means for Cooperstown and Otsego County.
Well, we're really in a renaissance period now, Jason, something like we've never, ever seen in terms of fandom support for the heroes of the game. When you look at the last 5 Hall of Fame weekends up till this past July, the last 4 to 5 of them, we've had in excess of 40,000 fans. And, the way things are stacking up this year with Harold Baines and Lee Smith already giving Chicago a good reason to visit. You look at Mariano Rivera and some others on the ballot who are predominantly spent their careers in the East, and there's no reason to think this year and then next year with Derek Jeter on the ballot that will be in a span of like 6 out of 7 with crowds in excess of 40,000.
So at the very least, we'll have probably 3, if not 4 or 5 names that people are very familiar with headed into the Hall this year. Do you get a little bit of nerves as you get ready to make that big announcement later tonight?
I do, kind of like the same way I used to get opening day butterflies when I worked in baseball for 8 years. It just, no matter how much you pair, there's that excitement level. And, the butterflies are there, but in a good way. And guys that I all respect on that ballot that are up for consideration, it's really going to be interesting to see who we get that's going to bring some really, really big business to Cooperstown and Central New York this summer.
Jeff Idelson, Hall of Fame president, thank you so much for joining me down in New York City. I know you got to get over to MLB Network. 6 o'clock tonight, the big announcement. We'll have follow-up coverage in the days and weeks ahead. Good to talk to you, Jeff.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Take care.
You too.